Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today as always. And it's a beautiful, sunny summer day in St. Louis, Missouri. Hope it's great wherever you are in the world today. And today we will be doing a continuation of The Power is Within. Okay, we are on location 239 in the ebook, and we're starting at Some People Say. Smash that like button and subscribe. We're having a podcast every Saturday at 7 o'clock. We had our first one last Saturday. Come and join us. Live podcast, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Be there. We'll have several guests this weekend, and the topic will be, I haven't decided yet, but it will be a good one. Okay, here we go with The Power is Within, and it is too. The power is within you. Some people say that tears are God's way of washing away the pain. I think that's a beautiful sentiment. I think it is. Though I believe it's more like us making room for the blessings that life has to offer us. When we hold on to the negative, there's just no space. My dog wants to get on the bed. When we hold on to the negative, there's just no space for the positive. Today, I have a dog, and I love her dearly, and that's her back there trying to get on the bed. She can jump up there, but she wants me to put her on the bed. Okay. The point of this story isn't to help you have a better relationship with your dog, but to have a better relationship with yourself and everything and everyone you interact with. When we express and let go of painful feelings, we release ourselves from our self-imposed prisons and allow the power that we all have within us to flow freely into every aspect of our lives. There is a power within you that can do for you what you want, that can bring you what you desire, that can give you a fulfillment that you never experienced in outer things, people, circumstances. It's what you're looking for in everything else, but it lies within you. And I know you've probably heard that before, but it's true. It just takes us sometimes a long time to discover that. Was it, what is his name? Jim Carrey? Is that his name? He said, the actor that did The Mask and a couple other ones. He said, I wish everybody could have all the money they wanted. This is not verbatim. So they could realize that's not what it is. And he's right. But when you've never had money or never had things, or you've been poor or just had a difficult life, you think that if you just had this money or you just had this house or you just had this certain type of life, that you would be happy and fulfilled. And that's not it. But it seems like it because that's something far off in the distance, that if I just lived like that person, of course I would be happy. But his happiness is not a result of what he has. What he has is a result of his happiness and what is inside of him. I know that's hard to believe. If you're down in the dumps and you're really struggling to get by and to pay the rent, to pay the electric. I've been there. I know how that is. Really, I understand. Okay. When we express and let go of painful feelings, we release ourselves, I read that, from our self-imposed prisons. And our prisons are self-imposed. We create them for ourselves. Some people call these negative feelings sins, a word that has been greatly distorted through the years. It comes from Hebrew and Greek origins and was an archery term meaning miss the mark. Like shooting at the bullseye and you miss the bullseye. Under that definition, we of course are all sinners. We all make mistakes. How would we learn if we didn't make mistakes, if we didn't sin, if we didn't miss the mark of trying to, or achieving our desires or our goals in life? We all make mistakes as part of learning and growing, but the word has been used for a very long time now in a destructive way, bad way, to teach people that they are inherently worthless, and unless they accept a certain teaching or join a certain religion, they will ultimately go where worthless things go, to an eternity of pain and suffering, a hell, or something like it. I think that is what misses the mark. I believe wholeheartedly what the great teachers of old passed down to us, but much of it has been hijacked and distorted for those in power to stay in power, and those not in power to become so. The result, people are manipulated and most grievously denied the knowledge that all the power they could ever imagine is already inside of them. And this doesn't just apply to a few. God is everywhere and in everything. Surely then God is in you, in me, and in every person and thing that exists. That is the source of our power, God, or whatever you choose to call it. But most of us don't use it because we are afraid to even imagine that we could command such a power. But we only have to look to the Christian Bible, to Jesus himself, to see the fallacy in that thinking. In John 14:12, Jesus states, "Truly I say to you, he that believes in me will do the same works that I do, and even greater works than these." So what's happened to us? Many religions, Christian religions, preach that out of this Bible, and they say this, but yet many of them, if not most, act like they're weak, helpless, worthless sinners. But he says that the person they follow, the person I believe in the teachings of Jesus. I don't claim to be a Christian. I don't claim to be any religion. I believe in a lot of the teachings of the other great religious leaders, for lack of a better way to say it, or mystics, or spiritual gurus, I guess you could use that word too. I believe in what they taught also. They all teach a similar message. But it's amazing how the message gets distorted through centuries, through religion, through man's ideas. And it's really a pure and simple message for all of us, not just for a certain group. To be saved here, you know, if you're dying of thirst, your Savior is going to be water. If you're poor, your Savior is going to be money. These people, these teachers throughout the centuries have taught us how to achieve or to get what we need through the power within us. It's not a power out there, although the essence of this power is in everything. We are connected to all of these things that we desire. We have these things. But because of these inabilities to believe and to see, you only see what you believe. You don't necessarily believe what you see. I'll give you a good example. I have these little notebooks I carry around with me, and I take notes in them throughout the day. I set it on the table earlier in the morning, okay, along with another notebook. They're colored. They have a certain design on the outside. And about 20 minutes later, I couldn't find the notebook. I looked and looked, and my son came in, and I'm like, I can't find that notebook. I don't know how I do this. It was right in front of me. You know why I couldn't see it? Because it was open up, and it was white, showed the pages and the lines and the writing. I was looking for the notebook closed, which is about this big, and it has a outer cover. Let me see if I have it here. Well, I don't see it. There it is there, but I can't hear. This is it right here. I was looking for this, and it was 3 feet in front of me, okay? But it was laying like this on the desk. I couldn't see it. It was there. I couldn't see it because I was looking for this. This is what existed in my mind. But this is what I saw. Now, I'm sure you've had similar experiences where you've been looking for something. Someone else walks in the room and they say, there it is, right on the table. But you couldn't see it. These blocks are called lacunas. You didn't see it because you didn't see your keys, if that's what you were looking for, because you, in your mind, you believed they were lost. You didn't know where they were. In your mind said you don't know where they're at. So because they were right in front of you, you should have been able to see them, but you couldn't because your mind decided you didn't know where they were. But yet someone else who came in who hadn't made the decision that they were lost, that they couldn't be found, saw them. And then once they saw them, it was revealed to you through their vision what they saw. How can it be? How can something be right in front of you and you not see it? But yet it's happened to all of us. It's there, but we don't see it. That's the same with the opportunities. There are opportunities out there for you to achieve your innermost desires, everything you want, but you can't see them because you don't believe they exist. You have to open your mind, you have to change your consciousness. Affirmations are a good way to convince yourself that what you desire is already here. It is here, but you can't see it because you're blocked, because you don't believe it's for you. You don't believe it's there. Maybe you believe it's for other people. Maybe you believe you don't deserve it. Maybe you don't feel good enough. Until you get rid of these feelings and these attitudes or ideas about yourself, someone could walk up to you and offer you everything you want, and you would not see it, or you would find something wrong with it, or you couldn't accept it. Or if you did accept it, not feeling good enough, or that you felt like you deserved it, you would self-sabotage and lose it very quickly. Everything begins and ends in consciousness. For you guys out there who are looking for that special girl, you have to find within yourself first what you desire. Do you know what you want? First, you have to know what you want. Write it down on a piece of paper. Okay, then become the kind of person that can accept what you desire. Become what you desire. Many people say they want this, they want that. Okay, they want more money. There's a real good example. They want more money. Okay, are you being responsible and managing the money you have today well? Are you keeping track of all your money? Do you write down or keep all your receipts and keep a record of where your money goes, where your money comes in from? Are you managing it? He who is faithful in small matters will be given great responsibilities. If you're not managing the little you have today, how can you be expected, or how can you expect to manage more? Having more money only magnifies what you already are. If you're a good person, a generous person, you have more money, you'll be more generous. If you're stingy, you get more money, you'll be more stingy. Many people think when my ship comes in, that's when I'll give. If you can't give 10 cents out of a dollar now, you're not going to give 100,000 out of a million. I'll guarantee you. It's easy to give a dollar out of 10. It gets harder to give 10 out of 100. It gets even harder to give 100 out of 1,000, or to give 1,000 out of 10,000. And to find a place to give it where it is going to produce fruit, or to produce produce abundance. I mean, if you go give $1,000 to some guy on the street that's a drug addict, he's going to go out and buy drugs with it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't help people, but that is not going to help him. But if you give $1,000 to an organization who teaches and encourages people to lift themselves up through certain types of education, that's good ground. That will produce more and thus come back to you multiplicatively. So be very prudent where you give. Give where it's going to produce more of what you give. Okay, so that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining me. Share this with a friend if you think it would be of value to them. And I'm done. Have a great day.